right, we're going to do the 4.3.3 quiz. We're actually going to use a page from the 4.3.1 study guide as well as the 4.3.2 checkup problems as we've been doing. We're going to be talking about the point slope equation. So what we've done thus far in this unit is we started with how to calculate slope, right? Slope is rate of change. It's that rise over run is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. All right, so we know how to calculate slope, and then in the last quiz, we were working on the slope intercept formula, right? That's the y equals mx plus b, where that b is the y coordinate of the y-intercept, which is where the graph crosses that y-axis. The x is always 0. It's our starting point for like our real life example type problems. Then the slope is always that number in front multiplying. All right, so and now we're going to talk about something new with the point slope equation. They give us the point slope equation here. All right, so it's y minus y1 equals mx minus x1, where m is my slope, and the y1 is just the y coordinate of a known point, and the x1 is the x coordinate of a known point. And I guess what I should do, what I kind of did with slope intercept, is I'm going to write this. I have y minus, well, y1 equals m x minus x1. So everything in blue, we're not really going to be changing too much. Now the minus signs may change. We'll talk about that here in a second. But realistically, all we're plugging in for is the m, x1, and y1. That regular x and regular y, remember, this represents all the solutions to this equation, all the points on the graph, right? So we're not really going to change them. We're always going to have that y, always going to have that x, and the equal sign in the parentheses. That's just how we're going to be. So what we're looking to plug in for is the m, the x1, and the y1, all that stuff in orange. All right, so going back here. Now, for all these equations, my slope is right there in front of the parentheses. So this first one, right there in front of the parentheses, that's 3. That's my slope. Oop, there's the -9. Oh, what? It looks different. Oh my goodness, it looks different. What am I going to do? It's still multiplying the x. It's right there in front of the x value, right in front of my independent variable. Still my slope. All right, now the point on the line. Notice how the equation has y minus y1, x minus x1. So the negatives are already in there. All right, so I have an x minus 5. That means my x value is a positive 5. It looks negative, but it's actually positive. This is the y minus 6. It looks negative. It's actually going to be positive. So my point on the line for this equation is 5, 6. Now the second one actually has a little bit different. This is x plus 8. It looks positive. All right, if it looks positive, it's actually going to be negative. It's a -8. Then I have a y minus 4. It looks negative. It's actually going to be positive. All right, so it looks opposite. The equation is going to look opposite to what's actually there, and that's a key. You got to make sure you're paying attention to those little small details. All right, so it looks negative. They're actually positive. It looks positive. It's actually negative. Here, there is nothing, right? We don't have that other number here. There's nothing there. Well, what is nothing? 0. And then it looks like a -2, so it's actually a +2. So we have to remember, when we're pulling the point out of the equation, we have to go opposite. And when we plug in, we'll have to go opposite as well. So I'm going to move this over so I get a better usage of my tablet here. All right, so I have a y, and it's supposed to be a minus y1. Well, I have a positive y value, positive 4 for my y, so I need it to look negative. So y minus 4 equals, well, slope goes next. I'll make the equal sign better. So -10 goes next, right there in the slope, and I do my parentheses. Then it's supposed to be x minus x1. All right, so what do I have? I have a positive x value, so I need it to look negative. There it is, looking negative, right? So the -1, -4, is actually positive. Perfect. Now the slopes though, the slopes are as is. They come as advertised. All right, so it's a -10. It dang sure better be a -10 there. +5, +5. -9, -9. 3, 3. The only thing that are switching is really the point. All right, now we're gonna have a y. Uh-oh, I have a -3 for my y value, so I need to look positive. All right, my slope is 2. Oh, I have a +5, so I need to look negative. All right, now I have a y. Oh, -7. I need to look positive. 1/2 slope. Oh, another -7. Needs to look positive. Hopefully, as I went through those and it kept saying, "Hey, it looks this way," so so it is this, so I need to look that, right? It needs to look opposite. Make sure we're taking our time and double checking that. Too many points will get lost just because we were careless and we just didn't take that extra couple seconds to double check our answer to make sure that we were correct in setting stuff up. All right, so going into the practice problems, they tell us the slope. That's great. They want us to write the point slope equation of the line using the coordinates of the labeled point. All right, so I know I'm going to have y minus y1 equals x minus x1. I know my slope is 3. They already gave it to me. I know my x is going to be there. I know my y is going to be there. All right, now I got to plug in for my x1 and my y1. They are both positive. It's a +3 and a +4. Remember, x always goes first and then the y. So this is a +4. It needs to look negative with my y. And this is a +3. It needs to look negative with my x. There you go. Now, next equation. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to write my generic equation. Y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Excellent. Now, plug in my slope. My slope, they tell me, is -1/2. Sweet. Don't have to calculate it. Saves us a little bit of time. All right, so now I have a positive x value and a negative y value. So I'm going to start with the y because the y comes first. It's a -1. It needs to look positive. It needs to be the opposite. +6 needs to look negative. Boom. I'm going to skip 3 and 4. It's just kind of, we've gone through a couple of examples and it's been kind of consistent. All right, I think you guys are going to be able to knock this out of the park. Now, the one thing I want to kind of add into this and knowledge is that we know, and we've talked about a couple times, is that all of these graphs, all of these lines have infinite amount of solutions. All right, there's so many points on those lines. They go down to all those different decimal places, and there's just so many different options. So technically, there's infinite number of equations that you could write for these lines. Right, so thus far we've written one equation per line, but for 9 and 10, I'm going to write 2. Okay, so first things first, rest in peace, Uncle Phil, is I need to take, I'm going to use this order pair first. I won't get out of this color. There we go. Y minus y1 equals x minus x1. All right, so I'm going to use -3 and -2, and I'm actually going to do it a little bit different this time. So I have y, and I have a +2 for my y value, so I need to look negative. And then, oh, actually I had to calculate the slope. And we need to calculate the slope, so I'm going to leave that as a blank, because we know how to do that. And then it's x minus what? Is a -3, so I need to look positive. All right. And now I want to do it for the other one. I guess I should have put the blue around this so we know, but here we go. It's going to be y minus, well, it's a +4 as my y value, so it needs to look negative. I still didn't calculate my slope yet, so we can plug that in later. And okay, we're on the green. So we have a positive x value, so it needs to look negative. So what we have here is these two equations, even though they're missing slope, and I guess I should stop being lazy and do a quick little slope reminder. I'll do this one kind of quick. I'll say this is x1, y1, x2, y2. So it'd be 4 minus 2, 3 minus -3, 2 over 6, which is going to be 1/3. So these are both going to be 1/3 here. All right, so I have y minus 2 equals 1/3 parentheses x plus 3. And then y minus 4 equals 1/3 parentheses x minus 3. Those two equations, these two equations right here, represent this line up here. Represent that red line. All right, they're the exact same. They represent the exact same equation, or exact same line. They're different equations, but they represent the same thing, and that's cool. Then you may be asked on the quiz or a test to, hey, write both equations here. Nothing wrong with that, right? So we're able to quickly and easily write them down. So I'm going to do it again. I'm going to go ahead and calculate the slope first. All right, so we got m equals y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. All right, now I'm just going to say this is my 2 equation, this is my 1 equation, right? I've been doing it a little bit longer, so I have a little bit better habits here. It's probably better if you guys go ahead and say this is x2, y2 to organize yourself. But there is a next step. Once we kind of get comfortable and start mastering the slope stuff, is I'm just going to label my entire ordered pair the second one and my entire ordered pair the one. And I just know that x's come first and the y's come second. So this is going to be 7 minus negative 2, 3 minus 6. 7 minus negative 2 is going to be a positive 9. This is a negative 3, so this is going to be a negative 3 slope. All right. Now I'm going to use this 3, 7 equation. So that's a positive y value, so it needs to look negative. I've already calculated my slope to be a negative 3. That's a positive x. It needs to look negative. So there is the first equation with that blue order pair. Now I'm going to use this green order pair, and I kind of lost it there. All right, so I have a negative 2y, so I need it to look positive. My slope's still negative 3, and I have a positive 6, so I need to make it look negative. And I haven't said this at the end of every video, but always remember that these are just basic outlines and basic guides. If you need more detailed explanation, if you need more from me, please just reach out to me. My phone call number is in my email signature. The texting number is in the email signature, or you can just email me. I have access to all of it, pretty free and easy, and I try to respond as quick as I can. And we can get on a Google Meet, whatever it is that you guys need, and we can help. We can rock this out. Just need you guys to reach out and let me know.